There's an idea that just 20 years ago seemed completely impossible. The idea of living in a world where artificial intelligence could observe millions of people simultaneously, where smart cameras could instantly recognize faces, where algorithms analyzed human behavior in real time, where entire cities were connected to gigantic digital systems capable of monitoring virtually everything. For decades, this existed only in science fiction films. But while much of the world was still imagining what that future would be like, China began building it. Today, the country possesses some of the most advanced technological surveillance systems ever created. Millions of smart cameras, AI-powered facial recognition, massive data analysis, fully digitized cities, extreme automation, and systems capable of tracking human movements with a precision that seemed impossible just a few years ago. For some, this represents progress, security, efficiency, the birth of smarter cities. But for others, it represents something far more unsettling, because when artificial intelligence begins to observe, analyze, and understand human behavior, the line between protection and control can disappear very quickly. Today we're going to explore the dark side of China's artificial intelligence system, a system so advanced that many believe it could represent the future of all humanity. Now let's delve into one of the most impressive and terrifying technological systems on the planet. Number 10. The most surveillanced country in the world. Imagine walking through a city where hundreds of cameras can constantly see you. On the streets, in train stations, at traffic lights, in shopping malls, public buildings, elevators, virtually everywhere. China has built one of the largest surveillance networks ever seen. Millions of cameras are distributed throughout sprawling cities, connected to systems powered by artificial intelligence. But what's truly shocking isn't just the number of cameras, but how intelligent they've become. Many use advanced facial recognition capable of identifying people in a matter of seconds, even in massive crowds. In some cities, if a person appears on one camera and then enters another street, the system can automatically track their entire journey, as if the whole city were connected to a single, gigantic digital brain. And that completely changes the traditional idea of privacy, because in such an environment, every movement leaves a digital footprint. Every journey, every action, every place visited, everything can become information. And the more data an artificial intelligence receives, the more powerful it becomes. Perhaps the most impressive thing is the speed at which it all happened. Just a few decades ago, much of China still had vast rural areas and cities very different from what they are today. But in a very short time, the country built some of the most technologically advanced megacities on the planet, with skyscrapers, massive digital systems, infrastructure connected by artificial intelligence, and a surveillance network that grew alongside these futuristic cities. Some people compare these cities to cyberpunk scenarios, with millions of people moving among cameras and invisible algorithms that observe virtually everything. And while many Westerners see this as terrifying, within China, there is a significant portion of the population that believes these systems help reduce crime and improve security. Because this brings us to one of the most important debates of the 21st century. How much privacy would a society be willing to sacrifice in exchange for greater security? Because historically, every time a powerful new technology emerges, the same question arises. Does technology exist to serve people, or do people end up adapting to the needs of technology? And honestly, no one seems to have a clear answer yet. Number 9. Facial recognition is everywhere. In many places in China, showing your face already functions as a kind of universal key. Your face replaces documents, cards, and even physical money. You can enter buildings with facial recognition, pay with facial recognition, use public transportation with facial recognition, access hotels, offices, and stations simply by showing your face. And the most impressive thing is the speed. Artificial intelligence analyzes thousands of points on the human face almost instantly. But here's something unsettling. For almost all of human history, people could disappear into a crowd. They could be anonymous. Today, AI is beginning to eliminate that anonymity, and when every face can be automatically identified, society changes completely. There are even systems capable of detecting facial expressions, emotions, and behaviors considered suspicious. The question is, what happens when machines begin not only to recognize people, but also to interpret them? Number 8. Smart cities. China is building some of the most advanced smart cities on the planet, and honestly, many look like they're straight out of a futuristic movie. traffic lights connected to artificial intelligence, automatically managed traffic, digital systems capable of detecting accidents in seconds, fully digital payments, drones monitoring urban areas, facial recognition integrated into stations and buildings. It all seems incredibly efficient, and in many cases it really is. But there's another side to that efficiency, because the smarter a city becomes, the more data it needs, and that data comes from people. From every purchase, every journey we've made, every movement, every search, every digital interaction, everything can be analyzed. And when millions of people are constantly generating data, artificial intelligence gains something extremely powerful: the ability to understand human behavior on a massive scale. Number 7. The social credit system. Few things generate as much global debate as the famous social credit system. For years, the internet was filled with exaggerated stories, rumors, and theories about this system. But behind all the confusion lies an important reality. China did develop various digital systems to monitor financial, administrative, and social behaviors in certain regions and sectors. The general idea seems simple: use technology, data, and artificial intelligence to evaluate behaviors considered positive or negative. Some people may receive benefits, others may face restrictions, and although many popular versions of this system were exaggerated, the central idea remains extremely powerful because it represents something completely new in human history: the possibility of algorithms evaluating social behaviors on a massive scale. And that raises very unsettling questions, because when technology begins to measure human behavior, who decides what constitutes good behavior? Who controls the algorithms? And what happens when an artificial intelligence makes mistakes? Because unlike a human being, algorithms can make decisions about millions of people simultaneously. Number 6. AI-powered police. In some Chinese cities, police are using smart glasses with integrated facial recognition, glasses capable of automatically identifying people while officers simply observe their surroundings. Artificial intelligence instantly compares faces against massive databases. But that's just the beginning. Some systems even seek to detect behaviors considered abnormal before a problem occurs, and that's where things start to feel truly futuristic. Because for almost all of human history, surveillance relied on people observing. Now surveillance is beginning to rely on machines that never tire, machines that can analyze millions of data points simultaneously, machines capable of monitoring entire cities 24 hours a day, and that represents a huge historical shift. Number 5. AI that predicts behavior. One of the most unsettling developments in modern artificial intelligence is behavior prediction. AI is constantly analyzing movements, digital history, locations, social connections, online activity, and human patterns. All of this is done to try to detect potential risks before they occur. And while this could technically help prevent crime or improve security, it also generates a great deal of fear, because an extremely dangerous question arises: what happens when artificial intelligence starts deciding who seems suspicious? Because algorithms don't understand human morality, they don't understand emotional context or real intentions. They only detect patterns, and if an automated system misinterprets those patterns, the consequences can be enormous, especially when we're talking about millions of people. Number 4. Data is the new oil. Many experts say that data will be the most valuable resource of the 21st century, and China understood this long before many other countries. Because every intelligent system generates information. Cameras generate data, apps generate data, digital payments generate data, vehicles generate data, smart cities constantly generate data, and the more information an artificial intelligence obtains, the more advanced it becomes. That's why China has invested enormous amounts of money in it, because whoever controls the data could control much of the world's technological future, and that's precisely why there is so much global competition surrounding artificial intelligence. Because it's not just about technology, it's about power. Number 3. Robots and total automation. China is leading a gigantic robotics revolution. Fully automated factories, AI-run warehouses, humanoid robots, machines capable of working tirelessly. And while that seems impressive, it also generates global concern, because millions of people are starting to ask themselves the same question: what will happen when machines can do almost everything better than we can? Some experts believe we are entering the greatest labor transformation in human history, where drivers could be replaced, factory workers could disappear, offices could be automated, and many other jobs would simply cease to exist. And China seems to be moving toward that future much faster than most of the world. Number 2. The future of surveillance. The most unsettling thing isn't what already exists. The most unsettling thing is what might come next. Because artificial intelligence is constantly improving, cameras are becoming more precise every year, algorithms are learning faster, and cities are becoming increasingly digitally connected. Many experts believe that in the future, systems will exist that can monitor entire cities in real time, not only observing but also understanding human behavior, predicting movements, detecting patterns, and analyzing emotions. While this could reduce crime and increase efficiency, it could also create the most powerful surveillance system ever built, a world where privacy ceases to exist entirely. Number 1. Are we seeing the future of humanity? Perhaps the most important question isn't whether the Chinese technological system is good or bad. Perhaps the real question is something else. Is this the future toward which the entire planet is heading? Because little by little, many countries are adopting artificial intelligence, facial recognition, smart cameras, automation, digital monitoring, and big data analytics. And every year, technology advances faster, much faster than society seems prepared to understand. Perhaps in a few decades, living constantly connected to intelligent systems will be completely normal. Perhaps future generations will find the idea of a world without digital monitoring strange, and perhaps China was simply the first place where the future began before the rest of the world. For a very long time, humanity imagined that the technological future would be a utopia, a perfect world, smart cities, machines helping people, total automation, problems solved through artificial intelligence. But the more technology advances, the more an uncomfortable reality emerges, because the most powerful tools ever created can also become the most dangerous. Electricity can illuminate cities, or destroy them. The internet can connect millions of people, or manipulate information on a gigantic scale. And artificial intelligence could end up being exactly the same, a technology capable of completely transforming human civilization. For better or for something much darker, and perhaps that is what makes the case of China so unsettling, because while the rest of the world is still debating how artificial intelligence should be used, China is already showing what a society fully integrated with automated systems could look like. A society where machines not only help people, but also observe them, analyze them, interpret them, and possibly control them. Artificial intelligence will likely be one of the most powerful tools ever created by humanity. It can improve cities, it can save lives, it can transform medicine, transportation, and security, but it can also become extremely dangerous if technological control surpasses human freedom. And that's precisely why AI generates so much fascination and so much fear at the same time. Because no one knows exactly what the world will be like in 20 or 30 years. But one thing does seem certain: the future has already begun, and it will probably be much stranger than we imagine. Now I want you to tell me in the comments, do you think artificial intelligence will make the world safer or more controlled? And if you like these kinds of videos about technology, robots, artificial intelligence, and the future, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share this video because we are still only just beginning to understand the world to come.